Hey guys! Today we have an unboxing from Cubewerkz with 3 puzzles inside, and I'm really excited to see how they perform. So yeah, big thanks to Cubewerkz for sending me this package. Magic Clock by Singso. Next we have the Yuhu V2 Megamix. And finally, the Bell V2 Pyraminx from X-Men. First, let's start with the Pyraminx, which is the weakest of all the events. Okay, no, Clock is the weakest event, but Pyraminx is also pretty low. Oh no, I ruined the box. Is this how you open it? Oh, this is how you open it. Oh. Okay, this is an interesting screwdriver. Okay. Ah. So I get both sides. Wait, what is this? Is this like a magnet thing? First turns, let's go. Okay. So first impressions, because it's out of the box, it's very dry. Tips are a bit springy, so I will have to loop those. I think a great thing about this Pyraminx that I noticed right away is the stability. The turning it feels hollow, but still stable. Not sure how to describe it. Corner cutting is, even though it doesn't corner cut that much now before setup, it's effortless, so the turning is also pretty smooth. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this Pyraminx. I'm pretty sure after I lube it a bit, it will be better. Now let's move on to Clock. As William said, we have 1, 2, 3 waifus. We'll see if this one is good. Oh! Oh! What? Why is it so tight? Ow. One thing though, the pins are very satisfying to click. But turning, man, it's so tight right now. I can't do anything with it. I can't say anything about it right now because I can't really turn it. This is full force. Yeah, so I'll just come back to you with a better review after I've set this up. Okay, now here we have the Yuhu Megaminx. Now first, biggest difference is the size. The Yuhu is definitely larger than the X-Men V2 LM, which is my current main. Now, the main problem I have with the LM is the speed. The turning is very pleasant and corner cutting is great and all, but it's just a bit too slow for me. Maybe it's my setup, but yeah, I just think it's a bit too slow. Whoa. Wow. This is so fast. This is so fast. I'm not sure what I feel about the ridges. I think I can get used to them. We'll see. The size is not a problem for me. I generally prefer smaller size cubes, but this is not so big that it's uncomfortable. Yep, corner cutting is great. Now, it does need some setup because it seems like the turning is not... It doesn't flow too well. Out of the box, I think this is not quite better than my setup LM, but after setup, I think this will become my main, just because it's so fast and it performs really well. So overall first impressions on these 3 cubes, solid, probably will become my main after setup. Same thing here, but it's more than solid. It's a pretty nice turning cube. And this, I have nothing to say. See you in a bit after I've done some solves on these puzzles, set them up, and I'll give you my second impressions. It's been quite a while since the unboxing, and I'll just go through the process of how I set up each cube and then tell you my impressions now. The clock was absolute trash when I first unboxed it, so I took it apart completely and set it up just like how you would set up any other clock. I basically lubed the plastic bits inside lightly and then assembled it. If you're curious on how you could set up your own clock, I've put a link down in the description to Clement's tutorial. I think it's very helpful. Now, what do I think about this clock after setup? The turning definitely improved a lot. However, in my experience, while the turning with only 1 or 2 pins up is flawless, when I do put up 3 or 4 pins, the turning does become very heavy, and I'm not sure if that's a problem with my setup or if I've just not done enough solves yet. I have heard from some people that they were able to set up their clock very well, and that after doing a lot of solves, it does perform a lot better. For me, I've decided not to change my main because I'm more than happy with my current Ling Ao with magnetic Rubik's pins. But if you don't have a clock yet and you're thinking of getting into clock, I would 100% recommend this cube because the setup is not as difficult as it is for the Rubik's or the Ling Ao clock, and to add to that, it's only in about the $10 price range, so it's definitely worth it. Now let's talk about the X-Men Bell V2 Pyraminx. As for setup, all I did was take it apart, wipe all of the pieces, and then just drop Traxxas 50K all over the contact points. The result is a pretty stable Pyraminx that performs pretty well, but in my solves I do experience some minor lockups and solves just don't tend to flow very well for me. I have a feeling that this puzzle might be better for people who use top first, where wrist turning is required. I do use V first for Pyraminx, so I find flick turning pretty hard on this puzzle, and unfortunately it won't be my main. So I guess I'm still sticking with the Bell V1 even though the V2 should be an upgrade. Finally, we have the Yuhu V2 Megamix. Out of the box, this puzzle was already very fast. However, I found that in my first few solves, my times were about 10 seconds slower than usual. At first I believed that this was a performance issue, but I slowly noticed that it was actually just a color contrast problem. In particular, I found it quite difficult to tell apart these two shades of green. After many solves, I did get used to the shades, and after looping the puzzle with a bit of Traxxas 50K, I am getting my normal times, if not slightly better. Overall, I'm extremely pleased with this puzzle, and it's just so satisfying to turn, and it made me a lot more motivated to practice Megaminx. Thanks again to Cubewerkz for sending me these puzzles. I thank you for watching and see you on my next video.